How many of you know who Ada Deer is? Ada Deer is like so tough. She is so cool. She is such a good, smart woman. And I never knew who she was. I never had met her. But when I was lobbying for the school and when I was lobbying for the clinic, I'd be like running down the congressional halls, and I'd have a couple of gals from the tribe running with me. And I'm a heavy smoker. And when they ring the bell for the congressman to come out of their offices, they have these underground tunnels, and they go to, you know, where they meet, whatever their meeting rooms are, or their big, you know, big meetings where all 500 of them get together. And in the Indian Appropriations Committee, wow, we're out of time. There's like 11 or 14 members, and so to get the school or the clinic, I had to make sure each and every one of them were aware of who we were and what we were up against. And so you can't get appointments with these people. And so what I would do is wait outside of their offices. They'd ring the bell, and when they'd come out, I just run along with them, telling them the whole story, and then the gals that were traveling with me would be just handing them the papers as we were running, and then I'd be running, you know, from Senate office to Senate office, and I'd always be passing this really tall gal with short hair, and I never knew who she was. And then there was an organization called Ahoya. It's a national Indian women's organization, and I met Ada, and I was telling this story. I went to the National Tribal Chairman's Association meeting, and I got there, and I was barred from going in. Ken Black from the Credentials Committee said Tribal Chairman's Association, and looked at the resolution, because we had to have a resolution delegating us, and he says, your vice chairman should have come, because this is the Chairman's Association. And I just flipped my fern. I just went totally bonkers. I said, you know, my people have been gassed, clubbed, arrested, displaced, incarcerated. We've been shit on, shot at, dragged by our hair. You know, we've just had to fight for everything that we've managed to retain. You know, how dare you insult my people by pretending to have a right to tell them who they can delegate to represent them. So that is totally insulting, unacceptable, isn't going to happen. I am delegated to represent. I am here. I am going in. Give me my badge. And he says, well, you really should sit in the lobby with the chairman's wives. And I said, oh, hell no, this isn't happening. Oh, no. So anyway, they gave me my badge. I went into this big room with, you know, 300 Indian men. But I wasn't gender conscious. I wasn't there as a woman. I was there as a tribal delegate. And what they were doing is they had up on the flip charts, they were listing resources that they were pledged to protect. And they had the trees, and they had the fish, and they had the land, and they had the minerals. And I said, Mr. Chairman, my name is Ramona Bennett. I'm here representing the Puyallup Nation, and I motion for the inclusion of our Indian children on this list. And of course he was like startled. And then this Paiute guy says, he says, Will someone tell that skinny little bitch to sit down and shut up? And then the Sioux guy says, oh, don't feel bad, honey. Let me buy you a drink. And Joe Delacruz, do any of you know who he is or was? He used to wander around the edges of the meeting. He says, Mr. Chairman, this is Ramona Bennett, and, she's, a good representative, he says, and I want to second her motion. She's right, our children are being removed. And Elmer Sevilla from the California tribes, he represented a consortium. He stood with me, and Philip Martin from the Mississippi Choctaws, he stood with me. And that was the beginning of the Indian Child Welfare Act. So now I'm telling this story at this Ahoya conference, and Ada Deer bursts into tears. She's really got tears. And I said, Ada, it's not that sad of a story. It's got a happy ending. And she says, I was sitting in the lobby with the chairman's wives. I thought, damn, if I had known they kept Ada Deer out, would I really have jumped all over those people like that?